A sincere compliment can create instant warmth in conversation. Now, you might think, well, obviously, Jonathan, of course that would be the case, but let's look at this a little more deeply. First of all, how often are you complimenting people? Uh, because obviously, if you're complimented, if you're honest with yourself, it feels pretty good, right? And maybe first, as we're just thinking about this, what are the things that you like to be complimented for or about or whatever for yourself, of course? Maybe what if it's you say, well, how I look? If somebody complimented how I look, how specifically, or in what ways, or what parts of your look? Maybe it's what you do or your personality, whatever it is. What things do you enjoy being complimented for? So the things that compliments do, what do they do? Why do we like them? It shows appreciation for whatever it is you're complimenting them for. It shows that you appreciate something about them. And in this case, we're talking about women, so about her. It shows that you're attentive. You've noticed something. You've noticed something about her. Maybe it's her look, maybe it's her personality, maybe it's some sort of work she's doing, whatever it is. You've paid attention, you've noticed something. Positive regard. You're saying something positive, right? If you can't say something positive, why say anything at all? That's what we've heard. But in this case, you're actually saying something nice to them. It feels good. They forget that. It's a boomerang, right? It comes back at you. You say something nice. It's like, hey, I felt really good about myself to say something nice. So that's a positive thing. Uh, I'll just kind of read this, but studies show that receiving compliments increases positive emotional response and perceived warmth. Well, again, sort of obviously it would do that if it's taken the right way. The trick is how authentic you are. So this is a good little thing to do in general, but what if whenever you gave somebody a positive compliment, a negative compliment, but a compliment, you actually believed it? This is very important. This is really key in my opinion. Whenever you compliment somebody, make sure you actually believe it. Find something and practice this with your friends, family, strangers, whatever. Find something about them that you like and compliment them because it's coming from a place of being genuine. They're going to feel it. And again, you're going to feel it because then you're more authentic, more congruent in your thoughts and behavior. That feels good. Everything works better when we're doing that. So say something that's genuine, that you actually feel about her. And I would say get a little specific as well and a little creative. So maybe don't always compliment about her looks, about something, oh, you look really beautiful. Maybe never say that. Not never, but like hold back on something like that because that's just generic and kind of boring. It might make her feel like you want something because you didn't put any effort into that, right? You've given her a gift certificate as opposed to a thoughtful present. So maybe don't do that. Find something specific. Oh, that color looks great on you. Whatever. I mean, just find something specific about her look if that's what you're complimenting her about. But maybe try to do more compliments about personality, intelligence, maybe things that she wouldn't have often received compliments about, especially if she's really attractive. Maybe if she says something funny, really laugh or say that's hilarious or you're really funny. Compliment her for those things if you believe it. That's the key. Don't just laugh because, oh, if I laugh, I'll get something, even though that was stupid. Depending on how well you know her, you could play with that. Her weird sense of humor, her lack of sense of humor, maybe, if you know her. So play with these things. Have fun with it, but be genuine. Maybe, because this is sort of a thing with us guys, we're like, oh, we don't find women funny. You've heard of that stupid idea, that stereotype that men don't find women funny. Maybe you're one of them, but I would say follow some female comedians. If you're scrolling past and you see a comedian, a stand-up comedian, and it's a female, listen to her and maybe like it so that you're presented with more stand-up female comedians so that you're eventually going to find some that you find actually very funny because They are. Get over it. There are some that are very funny and showing you funny points of view that you're not going to get from the stand-up comedians who are male. So find that. And then what happens is when you're doing that and you're following some, you're going to tend to find women funnier. You're going to read into that humor, get that humor more, so that the women you see in reality, in person, you might find funny, and then compliment them on that. Because frankly, I think humor is a great way to really build a relationship and frankly, meet women and date them. It's a great tool. It's a great way to walk through life. So find interesting things, be genuine, and the best compliments are ones when you recognize something meaningful about her. And maybe again, it's something that she's not normally complimented for. You can't possibly know it, but maybe if it's so unique, you're like, nobody's ever told somebody this. Or maybe it's she's really skillful in an area that you can appreciate and you mention that skill. Um, when I go to the gym, I don't do this, but if I did compliment somebody on this, if I see somebody doing a workout or lifting weights in a certain way that I can tell they know something, that impresses me. And if I were looking to date someone, I might say that to her, like, "Oh man, you're really good at this," or "She really knows," or whatever it is. Compliment them for knowing something or doing something well if that's something that you specifically have an interest in and a knowledge about. Okay? And it's going to feel good. And you might make that connection. I will see you on the next video.